for and what area you come from.
Yeah, Jamie Mascoll. I'm currently at Wycombe Wanderers in League One. I'm from South East London. Like a lot of the boys you've had on here. Obviously, I've been tuning in and watching, and
Yeah,
it's good to see everyone's journey. Everyone's so unique. You know what I mean? But I think you've asked me to come on here because my journey's a bit different to everyone else's. So
yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely. I think, like I said, and like you just said, the journey that you've had is a bit different. So again, it's a different angle for everyone tuning in to see. So
yeah,
I appreciate you coming on, bro.
no,
So
bro.
yeah, man, let's take it back to where it all started for you. So obviously, we'll take it back to grassroots. Obviously, I know how your journey's gone, kind of. So
Yeah,
try and stick for the first bit about your nines or when you started football to 16s. Let's keep it in that sense.
yeah.
Now,
Bro, I've been playing football as long as I can remember, bro. Primary school days,
wait,
Corridon, you
wait,
know,
just before we
you
move on
know.
from this year, who
Go
was
on.
the best in primary school?
I'll let you answer that one.
No, I'm asking you, bro.
I'll let you answer that one,
Bro, I know who was the best. I'm
bro. I
looking
don't
at
know.
I'm looking at the best. I'm looking
You,
at
you,
myself, by the way.
yourself.
You were second. You Ryan,
There
Ray,
was a few, you know. Ray was alright. Ryan was
Ray was
alright.
back then.
Yeah, bro, it was good. No, but primary school, yeah, that's where it was on the concrete, bro. Cuts, bruises, bro. Coming home, same
Different.
thing next day. But no, in terms of clubs, my first club was Moonshot, bro. Moonshot. Um, but I couldn't exactly tell you when I signed. I know when I first went to sign for Moonshot, I was a bit too young. So I had to wait a year. But then when I first jumped into it, I started a year above. So I was playing up a year. And I stuck to that for a while actually. So I was at Moonshot for a few years. And then eventually I went and followed friends and I went to 10 and B.
Yeah. If you
Again,
was that if
I
you was
was,
that moonshot, you know what I mean? Could have been a different pathway.
it could have been a different pathway, bro. Yeah, no, I was at 10
Joking,
and B,
joking.
10 and B for, couldn't tell you how many years, but I was playing up again, a year group. And then there was a year where at 10 and B, that year group I was at, they signed too many players. And then my parents and me, we had like a meeting and it was sort of like, oh, every player will have to miss a certain amount of games. And I mean, from young, it's always been like, I want to play football. So my dad and I kind of decided, like, let me go back to my actual age group where
Yeah.
they had less numbers so I could play games. So yeah, I was at Tennessee for a while. And obviously, these times in my career, I was a midfielder. I don't know if anyone remembers them days.
No, no. We all remember them still.
Bro, them days, I was a midfielder, bro. And then there was this one game that I played in defence. I think I played like right centre back, right? And after the game, Bert came up to my dad. He's the head scout at Cholton, I believe, or one of the top scouts, and he's still there to this day, I'm sure. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came up to my dad and he said to me, my dad, about, oh, like your son's very vocal for his age. If you know me, I'm probably still vocal now, but yeah, he said I'm vocal, and I can use both feet. So he wants me to come down to Cholton. So this was like my first kind of pro trial, and this is about 12 years old.
Yeah.
So I've gone to down there for 6 week trial. I'm guessing everyone knows how it goes. I didn't get in, but yeah, it was 6 weeks,
But what was
and
that
then
experience like for you? Maybe touch upon that. Obviously being your first one.
it was different, bro, because obviously the standards different. It's like how to explain it, the consistency, like of the like you have good players. I think I've always played with good players. Like I'll say it from now. I think I've played with very good players in non-league that could be pro. So I think the gap isn't as big as people think. But I
Yeah.
mean that's more in my later years. But even so, yeah, the standard was very good there. Then I think you know our age group at Charlton at the time.
Yeah.
Like they were very good players. But after 6 weeks, I obviously have a meeting. This was all done so properly, like proper. And I went into a room. I had a goodie bag, bro. Like they had a Charlton water bottles and programs. They sat down and they gave me the good old talk. You know how it goes. And then eventually I got told like no. And I think that was my first like rejection. So as I got home, my mum obviously threw me at the door and like how did it go? And I think I burst into tears, bro. Like I remember just bursting into tears.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle like the rejection at the time. This is the first time that I've always gone everywhere and I've played wherever I wanted to play, and it's to be told that no, it's like almost I'm hearing I'm not good enough. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? So
And
I
what did
didn't know
that
how to
what did
take
that
it.
do for you mentally and your confidence? Did you let it affect you, or did you kind of bounce back quick?
Bro, I think now, yeah, now as a man, I realize that there's no actual way to take rejection. Some people can cry, some people can move on. This how life goes, isn't it? But I mean, I cried. I'll tell you now, I cried for a while as well. But I think like all that kind of rejection, that adds like fire. Like it's a fuel to the fire, man. And it's just that's what you got to do in the end. But that was my first rejection. So
You know,
yeah,
so, yeah, you obviously you didn't get signed at Charlton the first time. So when you
you
came
know.
out of Charlton, was there any other trials on the table, or was it straight back into grassroots and
Straight back into grassroots, bro. I went back to Tenerife for
Jay, your
another year.
camera's
Oh,
falling, your camera's
sorry,
falling.
bro. I had it
That's
set
good.
up. Yeah, I had it. What do you call it? Yeah, straight back to grassroots. I went back to Tenerife for another year, I believe. Um, I'm 13 now, and we have a meeting after our season's done at Tenerife to get told that there's no longer going to be a team.
Okay.
Again, that's a shock. Like, what I do now? But I think I follow friends, and we went to Cray Wanderers. So I'm at Cray Wanderers now. I'd say about, if I'm 13, about 3 years. And that's when my older brother, said to me about going to Dulwich, that they bring through players. A lot of players can make it pro from there. And I think that's what that kind of made me think, all right, let me give it a go. So I've gone on like an open trial, and straight away they kind of said they wanted me. Okay, yeah. So I've gone on an open trial after like my brother recommended it to me. And I've got in from the open trial, and it's kind of like my option now whether I go to Dulwich or stay at Cray. And this was a hard decision for me, but that was kind of only to the fact that I've always been like playing with friends, and at Dulwich it was me on my own because none of my friends went there. I kind of stayed with my friends at Cray, or do I go Dulwich? But eventually I ended up going to Dulwich, and I think that was a good move for me. So obviously I'm grateful to my brother for the suggestion and stuff, but that was kind of a good move to me. So yeah, I'm at Dulwich. Then I ended up going on a county trial. I think by myself, like I found out about county trials, and I ended up getting into London County. And I played a game for London County. These are the times I'm still a 10, bearing in mind. So I'm gonna throw that out there, guys. But yeah, so I'm a 10 at these times. I played for London County, and I've come off the bench, I think first half due to an injury, and I managed to get a hat trick that game. And then there was a scout, I believe his name's Tony Fisher. Throwing out names here, but I believe so anyway. So he come to me after the game and said like, I want to bring you to some clubs, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Charlton was the top one in his list, innit? But, bro, man, I'm laughing at number 10, you know. And bro, it's upsetting because you know, innit? But yeah, that's when I went back to Charlton again now. So I'm on my second trial at Charlton at 16 years old, I believe. Anyway, 16 years old, and again I'm going back to the similar group of players like so Carlin. Look at me, he was there.
How
I
did
don't
that
tell you.
feel going back to the club that obviously had previously said no to you?
I don't know, I don't know how it felt. I felt like a fresh chance, another goal. I felt like I was a better player. I've improved, so I'm ready to just kind of shine. By these times, I said I'm a number 10, and this trial didn't last as long. So I played one game against Leyton Orient, and I scored. Then the second game was against Mill, but I only came on for about a minute.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I had like a meeting with Jason, who was the manager, and he just kind of said to me like, look, you're a good player, but we have two 10s in your position. Casey Palmer being one of them. So thanks, Case, by the way. Amazing here. But yeah, Case was one of them. So he just said, look, you've got people in your position. So it was like a no from there.
Yeah.
So it's like another rejection. Like I'm thinking, like, bro, am I losing hope here? Like I've always wanted to be a footballer, but am I lucky enough? Like I started to bring luck into it and all that kind of stuff. Like, is it gonna work for me? Kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I've gone back to Dulwich now.
It's
Sorry,
you.
it must be me still. I'm inside now, and I'm inside.
Sweet. So yeah, that feeling. What are you saying? You had to sit there in it. You wanted
You had to.
see
Oh, bro, this is my seat, man. This is my seat.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, no. So you come out of that second trial.
Yeah.
And you said you went back to Dulwich.
I went back to Dulwich. I started my scholarship, bro. At 17.
Yeah.
These times at 17, like, kind of want to start making money and stuff. Like, you get what I mean? So it's hard when you're playing for Dulwich and also going college, because it's like you have to train after school technically every single day. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there wasn't a lot of time. So me and a few friends decided to start working on match days, and we went to Charlton. So we went to Charlton to try and get a job. I didn't throw a top away, bro. You ain't giving me one yet, Carlin. Yeah, I went to Charlton to get a match day kind of job and got it straight away. So I started working on match days, bro. Saturdays, whenever the games were really, but obviously mainly Saturdays.
Yeah.
Working at Charlton, watching the games, like watching the 13 games. These times there's players like Carlin, like you said, playing. You got Joe coming through. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just good to watch every single game, or home game, should I say?
And how did that even though at that present time you're working for the club, how did that kind of inspire you? Because obviously, like you said, you're watching the games and you're seeing players that you know personally on the pitch. So did
Yeah,
that give you a big kick?
yeah, bro. Because it's you know how it goes. Like you're kind of watching these players, then you're meeting up with them and chilling with them after, and
Yeah,
it's like I'm watching you on the big stage. Like I want to be there so badly, bro. And that Charlton kind of became a big part of my life before I signed for them because my family support Charlton anyway. Um, but like I went to every game watching Josh, watching the boys in here like Ken, Carlin, all that kind of stuff. I watched most youth cup games. I watched the youth cup game you spoke about in Casey's live. Like I'm there, so it's
yeah,
like I want to be a part of this, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, but then again, you get to a point where you start losing faith, bro. Like there's a time where it's like it's too late. Even though you hear the stories about Jamie Vardy and stuff, you
yeah,
start thinking like it's too late. Like realistically, I ain't ever played for a pro club before ever. Do you get what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, well, it's tough, but again, it's motivating at the same time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And obviously, I know personally that during this sort of period, you also went out and got a proper job, a 9 to 5 as such. So
Yeah,
maybe touch upon that because I feel like a lot of people that currently play football sometimes they've never had to get a real job and experience that side of life. So tell us
yeah,
how you
bro.
cope with that and then also playing at the same time.
So yeah, obviously I've completed my scholarship at Dulwich now, but I've stayed there. Just before I just touched on the work and stuff, I just want to go back like because of a timeline. But yeah, when I'm
Yeah,
at
no.
Dulwich these times, I've gone on loan about 4 times.
Yeah.
So from my scholarship, I've gone on loan when I was first 17. So after all the not happening with Charlton, I've gone on loan to Erith. I've gone on loan to
Phoenix,
Phoenix. I've gone
Phoenix.
on Phoenix, Erith. I've gone on loan to Cray Wanderers, back to Cray Wanderers.
Yeah, Grays, Athletic.
Grays was the main one that I probably want to touch on. So with Grays, what happened is there was a season where I wasn't playing at Dulwich as much as I wanted, but they had a very good left back at the time, but I wasn't playing.
And was this in the first team at Dulwich you
This is
wasn't
in the
playing?
first team, yeah, I wasn't playing. So my scholarship's done. I'm kind of on the reserve first
Yeah,
team list, training every day. I'm not playing enough in it. So the season ended and I decided I didn't want to, like, I was on a non-contract there. I didn't want to stay there and not play anymore. So I kind of went out and I just spoke to contacts and I managed to go to Grays. Like, oh no, I say a trial, but it's just like an open kind of thing to see players. So I
yeah,
got in there and we lost nearly every game, bro. I'm sure we got relegated that season, but I came back to Dulwich in January. But from the beginning of the season till January, I played every single game, and that was like I knew we was losing, but I was performing.
yeah,
Um, that's kind of like I played so many men's games. Like it's so different to playing as a boy. You're playing against men week in week out, men that have dropped out of the league.
yeah,
Like it's just a different kind of competition you're facing, and it's good. Like that was like the best thing for me, and I think that the management of Dulwich also appreciated what I've done there. So I kind of was always training with Dulwich. Grays knew about it, and Dulwich also was happy for me to train there still because Grays only trained like once or twice a week. So
okay,
I was still training every day, like with Dulwich and just playing games for Grays. Um, so yeah, I've gone back to Dulwich in January. They've asked me to come back. They left. I was injured. I played a few games there, and then they offered me a contract at Dulwich. Um, they said like obviously a lot of teams want you. Like we can. This is because obviously I had a good season at Grays, and we could play you now, or we could try and send you to clubs on trial, kind of thing. But obviously you have to be on contract, obviously out of mutual respect for just both parties, kind of thing. So
yeah,
after that, turning it down so many times, um, I decided to sign a contract. But so the season's going on, but obviously these times I'm having to work. I'm coaching non-stop, bro, and I think like with the coaching thing, it can be hard, bro, when you're training as well. You're missing certain shifts, so there's only a certain
yeah,
amount you can do, bro. So anyways, I've decided to get a full-time job. Again, my brothers put my CV into someone, and I've gone for an interview months before, and they called me about 6 months later asking if I still wanted the job. And at these times, I wasn't sure if I wanted the job, bro. I still wanted to play football, bro. But at the same time, life, bro. There's
yeah,
bills, there's things you got to do, bro. And I weren't earning enough at the time at Dulwich to even be able to just rely on that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So I needed to do something in it. So I decided to work 9 to 5 as an insurance broker. So I started working in January, 9 to 5 every day, like you can imagine, bro. And just going to football after work. There was times where I had a good relationship with my manager at work, and he allowed me to come in early on days that I had to leave for away games, for example,
Yeah,
because we
yeah,
finished at 5:30. But if I need to leave at 4:30 or 5, he would allow me to come in at 7, for example, or work for my lunch, which obviously really helped me.
yeah.
Um,
But how do you think that process kind of affected you? Because me personally, I know that working and then coaching after is hard. But
mm.
imagine working and then going to a away game or going to play. That must have been extremely hard, especially like you said, sometimes having to get up earlier, work through lunch. Do you know what I mean? And that whole process.
Bro, I can't really sit here and say, oh, it's so hard on me because people do it every day, bro. You know what I mean? Like, man,
Yeah,
them actually do it every day and they've been doing it for years. But it had a massive effect on me because, like I said, it's long. There's days I'm getting up at 5, 6. I'm traveling to work, getting there for 7, kind of thing. Then I'm after work, I'm going to training on an away game, and I'm not getting home till like 12 at night, bro. Do you get what I mean? Away games, obviously, you can imagine on Tuesday night, you go far, you get home at 12. I'm in bed, I'm up again at 7 the next day trying to get to work. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's hard, bro. Like, you know, that's like that's when it's tiring, and that's how like I have enough respect for people that have been doing it for years. So yeah, bro, that was the maddest thing for me, bro. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Tough, gone.
So yeah, that time now. So you're working, you're at Dulwich playing this time. You're not.
Yeah, I'm at Dulwich. It's not playing, but I'm on the bench. I'm playing. Do you know what I mean? In and out
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
squad, bro.
so yeah, what was the stage where you started to get maybe a consistent run in Dulwich's team?
Um, so at the time, like I said, I'm traveling to away games. I'm not even playing. That's just another thing. So I'm leaving work early to travel and not play on some days for months, maybe sometimes. And it's just
Yeah,
like it's a burner, bro. Because that's when you're really thinking. I'm working. That's what I
yeah,
didn't want to do. If I'm honest, like I know no disrespect to anyone that works, but I didn't want to. I'm not playing. Like, where's this going in my career, kind of thing. And there was just a spell when like there would be an injury and I'll just actually get a run of games consistent. It would be a cup game and I perform well and I get a run of games. And
yeah.
then I was made aware of a trial at Charlton.
What are you saying? Third time lucky.
I didn't know if I wanted to go, bro. I'm like thinking, I've gone so many times. These people are pretty bored of seeing my face, bro. Do you know what I mean? But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give it a go. So I only had a month holiday, so 4 weeks, so about 28 days holiday
Yeah,
at my workplace, and my family were going away. I can't actually remember where we're doing. To be fair, if my brothers are in here, they can comment. But they went on a holiday, a big family holiday. But I couldn't go because I needed to use my holiday to go on
yeah,
trial. Do you know what I mean? So 2 weeks before the season ended, I took 2 weeks holiday to go on trial. And that's when I got told that they want me to come back in pre-season. So I needed the other 2 weeks and I couldn't use it to go to work.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I had so I couldn't use it to go on holiday. So I had to use it to trial. So I've used my 2 holiday to go back on trial again. And Charlton are aware of my situation. Work's aware of my situation. So work asking me, Jamie, what's happening? Like, we can't give you much more holiday. What's how
yeah,
your
yeah,
work's going behind, kind of thing. Charlton, like, they kind of know. So they've eventually told me, bro, like, I got a message from the Dulwich manager. I was sitting at a desk, bro, and the Dulwich manager messaged me and he said that Steve, he said something very blunt to me, and I didn't know how to react. He said, Steve wants you sorting something out. And I read it, and what do you mean Steve wants me, bro? Like, I'm at work, I can't work. I've locked my computer. I've gone to
yeah,
the toilet. I'm sitting like on in the disabled toilets just because I know I can get privacy in there. I'm sitting in there like, what do I do? Like, what's happening? What's happening? I'm messaging, question marks. But then eventually, like, my college manager called me and just said, yeah, you should be going Charlton. If you can sort out your personal terms with them, it should be all right. So I said to my manager once I knew everything was all clear, like, I should be leaving, kind of thing. I'll have a like obviously to work my month's period that I have to work and then go. And my manager, I said, he was so good, and he just said, look, bro, you don't have to work. He didn't say bro, but he said, look, you don't have to work your month. Just like go and chase your dream, kind of thing.
yeah.
And that's when it all started, bro. That's when it started, bro. I signed for
Cool.
Charlton, and yeah.
All right, so we're signed at Charlton, but let me just ask this question because I asked Jaden yesterday. How was the transition from moving from a number 10 to a left back? Obviously, me knowing you, like I said about Jay yesterday, your technique on the ball and the way you play is for me someone that could play a lot higher up the pitch. So what was that transition like, and why did you feel it suited you?
Um, well, I didn't think it suited me at the time, bro. I got told to. go left back many years beforehand, and I always said no. Like I would like to score goals. I like to create goals. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to. I missed a child. I don't know what child I missed. I might have missed a child, bro. So I'm saying the story's mad, bro. I'm telling you, I can't even remember it. But I had one at Millwall, but that was all madness as well. But yeah, so yeah, I got told to be left back how many times, bro, and I just didn't want to because I just wanted to create goals, score goals. All the players you watch, like the creative ones, the ones like you seem to remember. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Hartlepool, how did I miss that one? Oh my days, how have I missed that? Oh wow. Sorry, Hartlepool. So shall I go back to that one? Do you want me to go back to that one?
Where does it fit in? Yeah, just jump
Where
it
does
back.
that? Obviously, this is before Charlton days, bro. I couldn't even Hartlepool, bro. How did I forget that? Bro, when was this? I couldn't even tell you a specific date. But this was before, obviously, my final trial with. This is okay. I can tell you when it was. Sorry, I signed for Charlton in August, right? And my trial for Hartlepool was in December, so the year before that, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I've already had an interview for a job, and I've been called by the job to say we want you, and we need you to start in January. So I've told a coach that I used to work with that yeah, pull it up, bro. So I told a coach that I used to work with I'm going to start working, and he said like I want you to go to a club. I've got a link at Hartlepool. Hartlepool is 5 or 6 hours from my house, bro. But I
Yeah.
didn't care. I was like, I'll go. But he's sort of like on one condition kind of thing, like you have to pay for your own accommodation up there, like kind of thing.
Okay.
So at the time I said I'll do anything, bro. So I've driven 6 hours away from home. I've put myself into a hotel. I've gone on trial to Hartlepool. It lasted about a week. It was meant to be. So I met the manager after a week, and he said, "I like you, but I need to see more of you. So I
Mm.
need to stay for another week." Bearing in mind that they wasn't going to accommodate this other week, so it's like
Yeah.
I didn't have anywhere to stay, bro. Like, but I was like, you know what? So I put myself nightly. Like I kept doing it after night by night, just like
Rebooking.
redoing it. Sorry, rebooking. And then one of the players were nice enough to let me stay in the player's house because he wasn't there all the time. So he said, "Look, stay in my room the days I'm not there, and the days I'm there, you stay on the sofa."
Yeah.
And like, bro, I was so grateful, bro. Like people that can help you out like that and them kind of needs that, bro. It's amazing. But yeah, I stayed the extra week, and eventually they said to me like, we like you a lot, but we have a left back in the first team and we have a left back in the 18s. They're not a big club, so to
Yeah.
have three it wouldn't make a lot of sense, kind of thing. Like I wouldn't. Where would I get minutes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that was another rejection. I drove 6 hours home, bro. Like just thinking that this is it, man. I'm
Yeah.
going to work now. I'm gonna go to work. Like I'm starting this work in January. So yeah, but bro,
Uh,
sorry, let me go back to where it was. Go on,
yeah.
oh sorry, go
Cool.
on.
So you get to Charlton now and you sign, but like you said, you had a lot of rejections up until that point. So when they finally said, "Yeah, we're signing you," and here's the papers, what was that feeling like of saying, "Yeah, I'm now in the game as such because I'm in that system."
Yeah, bro, I couldn't believe it was true. Like I've gone to meet obviously these Charlton people and sign what I had to sign or speak about it initially. So before you sign, obviously that has to be agreed.
Yeah.
And I haven't told people. I think my immediate family know. Some of my closest friends, I was hesitant to tell because I just thought if I tell them and it doesn't work, what
Yeah.
happens?
Yeah.
And I don't like to speak on things sometimes before they happen. So like obviously I told that my closest friends after a while. And they were like, why didn't you tell me this a few days ago? And I was like, I just didn't know, like, I didn't want to. I just wanted it to all be concrete. But now it seems like it's going through, so I can let you lot know now. So, but, bro, I just didn't, and I couldn't, like, this is what I've been, I don't think I can put it into words, bro, but this is like what I've been grafting for my whole life. And I'm finally about to sign a contract. Like, I know it's early doors and it means nothing
Yeah.
because I could be in the game for a year and
Yeah.
done. But it was like, bro, this is like mad for me. Like, so that feeling there, I couldn't ever explain to anyone.
Cool. So yeah, you're at Charlton now and you're training and obviously I'm presuming you started off in the 23s. So how was that experience for you and what did you take away from your time at Charlton?
So, 23s, it was crazy because I went kind of, obviously I was playing the first team football in non-league and I just went back to 23s. And obviously it was different because we had things like activation in the mornings, bro, before training. And I'm thinking, activation, what do you mean? Like we're going to the gym beforehand and doing stretches and we're using bands and on a bike. But my activation before was like I jumped around the pitch twice and I was ready to play.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like it was different, but it taught me how to look after my body a bit more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like to avoid niggles and all that kind of stuff. So that was good. But as I said, it was different playing against men than going back to 23s and playing against like boys. Like of course the boys were talented, but it's a different kind of like you're not I don't want to say you're not playing for anything because you're obviously always playing for something, but when you're actually playing for points and to try and keep a team up,
3 points is a
it's
big
different. Do
thing.
you know what I mean? So yeah, but it was again, there was pros and cons, but I'd say more pros, obviously, being in the professional club. Like, yeah, you take that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no. So in terms of that, obviously, I know you went back on loan to Dulwich while you was at Charlton. So what was that like going back to the place that kind of helped you with?
yeah, obviously I went back towards the end of the second year, so I had a whole year at Charlton, and I got my option taken up. So I stayed there another year. The first year was like amazing, bro. Things are happening so quick. Like I made my debut for the first team, and within like 3 months, got a new deal within 6 months. Someone just asked how old was I when I signed. I was 20, I believe. I signed at 20 years old. Um, sorry, yeah. So 6 months was good. New deal, everything was good. Then I done my shoulder in
I
January.
remember that.
Yeah, I done my shoulder. This is obviously like my second shoulder that I've done, but this was a bit different because I've done my first shoulder non-league, and it was just a case of like put it in a sling for 2 weeks, start training again after that. Whereas with doing my shoulder at Charlton, it was like you have to get a scan, get seen by a specialist, get told that you're going to be out for months, bro. And I
Yeah.
was kind of like didn't have to take it. Like I've never ever taken time off of football before, like long periods. So this was like that was a shock for me. Um, but after I came back from my rehab and everything, I ended up needing minutes and wanting to play. And I think again I needed to play men's games again. And Dulwich came back in for me. They're now in a league higher because they've been promoted. And it just seemed like it was a good opportunity. It was close to home. I knew the management. I knew most of the players. So yeah, I went back to Dulwich. And yeah, it was good, man. It was good.
Yeah.
Got a lot of minutes. Played every single game, which I needed. We avoided relegation. So yeah, it was good.
Cool. So yeah, we're back from Dulwich now. You're back at Charlton, and I think this is after your second year. Was there another year on the table, or what was that process? Was they offering, or did you have to say and cut your losses and try and find somewhere else?
Yeah, so at Charlton, I didn't get offered a new deal. Um, and then so yeah, it was like I felt like, well, I'm thrown back into the deep world, bro. Like, where do I go now? Like, I don't want to go back to non-league. What do I do? I mean, I've been at non-league. I didn't just try and sign for 2 years to stay for 2 years and then come back to where I kind of was. Do you know what I mean? And especially having a loan at Dulwich, I just kind of wanted to step up. I didn't want to have to come back to where I was.
Yeah.
So that was one of the scariest points, like in the summer, not knowing what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So went away, and all I could think about was where will I be when the season resumes or starts again, should I say? So yeah, that was scary, bro.
And to be fair, I think I remember that time in terms of you putting in a lot of work off the pitch and on the pitch in pre-season, as we would call it, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, how did the process go about ending up at Wycombe, or was there a stage in between where other stuff happened that you?
No, so like I said, it was in the summer. I knew I wasn't gonna be at Charlton anymore. So and I didn't actually know where I was gonna be. So I was just working so hard. I knew that wherever I was gonna end up, I needed to be at the highest level possible at the best of my game so I can just go back into the league. If I had to go non-league, I wanted to come straight back into league. If I was
Yeah,
gonna be in the league, I wanted to start ready. So my agent let me know that Wickham wanted to take me on trial. Because they only had one left back at the time. So my mind was just set like Wickham, like Wickham, Wickham, Wickham. So I went back to Wickham on like the first day of pre-season, and I just worked so hard like when I was there, just tried to show them what I could do because I knew I was ready. Do you know what I mean? It was just
yeah.
it's unfortunate it didn't work at Charlton. I think the injury didn't help and stuff. So I just knew I was ready. So yeah.
Oh, so yeah, we're at Wycombe now. And how was it when you first got there? Was the experience a lot different to Charlton? Was there similarities? Maybe touch upon that.
Yeah, bro, it's just in my head I'm thinking another trial. Like I'm here again. Do you know what I mean? Like why am I on trial again? But I'm kind of like my luck's changing trials now. I know how to show my best abilities. But before I might not have known how to show how good I am. Whereas now I knew how to. So I
Yeah.
was a bit more confident going into this trial. Wycombe, the change room is unbelievably friendly. Like it's almost scary because you think, are these like being fake or is it real? Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
everyone is so nice. But I can tell you now, they've stayed that way since I've signed and it's up till now. So lucky, I think I went to the right club in Wycombe. Like I said, the boys are amazing. They welcomed me in, and that just allowed me to just play my best football. And I think it showed in the pitch. I was just in pre-season, I had a couple assists. We hadn't lost a game in pre-season. I played nearly every game, and then they told me, yeah, they want to offer me a year. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, no, so good, man. So in terms of that, now you're signed at Wycombe. Was there anyone within the change room that kind of helped you with the process, maybe put their arm around you and guided you sort of?
I'll be honest with you, bro. There was a lot of players. Like I think it'd be unfair for me to say one. And Anthony Stewart, he allowed me to stay at his house. He's got a flat up there. He allowed me to stay with him because traveling up every day was so long. It was
Yeah,
like I had nowhere to stay, so I was literally after I'd done a hotel for a bit, but after that I was traveling 2 hours a day, like 2 hours there, 2 hours back, should I say? And Anthony Stewart let me stay at his bit, so that's just like that helps. But everyone like put an arm around me, like every single player there. Obviously, you have Akin Fenwa, who's a massive character.
yeah,
And when he's making you feel welcome, then you don't feel like anyone can really trouble you. So then you have the captain that I stay with now. He's like amazing. Like there's just so many players, bro. I feel like I have missed everyone out, but there's everyone.
yeah. No, no, that's big, bro. So yeah, man. In terms of Wickham, and I'd say for the future, what's your kind of aspirations? Because obviously the season looks like it may or may not get finished. We're still a bit unsure with that. So
Yeah.
what's your plans for the future in terms of what you want to achieve, and is it what you want to
Well,
achieve really?
obviously we all want the season to finish. Like we're in a very good position right now. This is the best position Wickham's ever been in, and I mean I'm part of it. So it's like we just want the season to finish, and hopefully we can get promoted because that's obviously the goal for everyone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that would be amazing, really.
Yeah, no. All right, cool, bro. So yeah, no. What I'd say, just for any young kids that are watching and anyone that's still got aspirations of being a footballer, what advice would you give? I think maybe touch upon because you got signed at 20, like you said,
Yeah,
to your first club. So I feel that a lot of the journeys that we're gonna hear are gonna be people that were signed at 9, signed at 10,
yeah,
and just gone through the system. So yours
yeah.
is very unique in terms of being signed at 20. So yeah, maybe just touch on a little bit of advice and words of motivation for the next generation that are coming through.
Yeah, bro. I think my journey speaks for itself, bro. Like it's actually never too late. And sometimes you hear these things and it sounds cliche, and then you hear the just work hard, and that's very cliche because what does like work hard really mean? Do you know what I mean? But for me, like I think I just say like find something that motivates you, and that could be yourself. But I found that for me, that wasn't enough. I needed something that motivated me, and that was like my family.
Yeah,
So when I was feeling down, I feel like sometimes when you're relying on yourself to motivate yourself, or you're doing it for yourself, and you're not feeling up for it, you kind of like, um, I don't want to get up today. But when you're doing it for someone else, that gets you out of bed. Do you get what I mean? When I'm doing it for my family, that's what gets me out of bed. You know what I mean? If I'm feeling bad and I don't want to go running today because I don't feel like it,
yeah,
I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for me, but I'm doing it for other people, bro. So I can't let them down. Sometimes
no,
you feel like it's a right to let yourself down, but find something that you don't want to let down. Do you know what I mean?
no, that's big, bro. No,
So yeah,
definitely.
bro.
So yeah, anyone that's watching, I just want to say it's never too late. Mask
Never,
is
bro.
a key example of that.
Yeah,
Kept working, kept plugging at it, and he had step backs. He had 3 or 4 no's before the yes finally came. So, no, that's very big. In terms of idols on and off the pitch, who were the kind of people? Obviously, from the way you're talking, I presume
yeah, bro.
your family were idols, but yeah, touch upon that and maybe on the pitch who you kind of watched and idolized.
Yeah, I, as I said, in terms of idol, I don't think I think my idols are very close to home in terms of, like I said, my family, my parents, my brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like everything like that. That's kind of well, what I see them. They have obviously everyone has a journey, and I'm watching their journey, and I'm seeing what they go through, and it's like that kind of I watch that, and that's what motivates me, and that's what I idolize. Um, and then friends, bro. You have friends, bro. When I watch your friends like do things, bro, it's just like you know, we have friends that are doing massive things, bro, and you're seeing that, and that's kind of what you idolize in a
Yeah,
sense, where you can speak to them and see what they're doing. But on the pitch, bro, I said I was always a midfielder, man. I love watching like Frank Lampard's play and like the Ronaldinho's, bro. I never could do it, but you know, it was lovely to watch.
yeah,
But then, like, as he developed more into like a left back, you got like the Ashley Coles and that. Like, he's amazing. So yeah, that's the kind of people you should watch, bro, into similar positions, bro. But yeah.
yeah. No, it's big. Yeah, bro. So wrapping it up in terms of COVID and obviously the time we're in,
hmm
we spoke about it at the start. Like you've been getting on the runs and etc. etc. But what else have you been kind of doing? Any core work? Any yoga? Because a lot of people should or say you should be doing yoga
Yeah,
in these
bro.
sorts of times and stuff like that. And maybe even your diet. How's your diet been? Because I know obviously it's hard when you're at home all the time, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So yeah, just touch upon that maybe.
Yeah, like I said, right now I'm doing a lot of bike rides. I'm doing a lot of resistant band work because obviously not everyone can get hold of weight. So I'm doing a lot of resistant band works. Like you say, ain't
Carlin,
nothing done
right?
yoga, bro. Bro, I've done yoga, yeah, a lot of yoga. Nah, but core work, everything, bro. Diet, I've been pescatarian for months now, so I mean that's my personal preference. Like I live life through my own experiences, and I find that's what works best for me. I've tried the vegan, I've tried all of it. So yeah, pescatarian. That's what I'm on right now, bro.
What are you
Got that
saying?
guy.
Obviously, I played pro clubs with you, and I think you're decent in it. But Casey's trying to say that you're letting the team down.
Case couldn't. He wouldn't say that. I'm scrolling through and I can't see that. He wouldn't. Casey wouldn't say that.
Bro,
There's
he's
no way.
saying it. Your thing's slow, innit? Your Wi-Fi's not really there.
Bro, do you know what it is? I've got the Ethernet cable in my PS4, so no lagging out, bro. With
Yeah,
my phone, it's a bit. I don't know what it is, bro. But no, pro clubs again. Anyone who wants to challenge us, please let me know. Like, I know this is for inspiration, but
smoke's
please, like,
there,
guys,
innit?
let me know. Like, anyone. Carlin, you know. Carlin knows, guys.
Carlin's held it.
Carlin knows.
But bro, I'd like to say a big thank you for jumping on and
Nah, bro, I
taking
appreciate it,
your
honestly.
story and sharing it because, like I said, it's very unique and it's good for people to hear. So a big thank you for me. For everyone at home, thank you for listening and thank you for jumping on. Carlin will be on Friday, so Carlin Grant will be on Friday.
Ooh,
So
I'll be here Friday, guys. I'll be here Friday.
same way he's dishing out bants to Mask, I'm sure Mask are gonna give him the same back. But yeah,
Nah,
no,
bro.
thank you everyone for jumping on.
No,
Massive
thanks, man. I want
appreciate.
to say quick, bro, that obviously the work you're doing, like that's amazing, bro. Because you're inspiring people. I'm seeing your videos at home, and you don't have to do that kind of stuff. You get what I mean? So to see it, it's like I had to jump on here. When you asked me, I don't like doing this kind of stuff. I don't think I've ever been live on Instagram before.
Yeah,
So like I had to do this for you, bro. Because I know the work you're putting in, and like we can all see it. So if you follow me, guys, and you don't follow Lanks, please follow him, bro, because
yeah, no, bro,
he's big,
appreciate that.
man.
And like I said, I I get my motivation off, even though I didn't make it as a footballer in terms of on the pitch. Now that I'm a coach, I said it to Case the other day. I said, seeing you lot motivates me enough to say, you know what, this is almost my second chance in football, so I'm just gonna go with it and really try and get as far as I can.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
It's
So,
amazing what you're doing, bro. Honestly.
bro, appreciate the words and appreciate you coming on and a big thank you. So,
Yeah, guys, everyone,
guys,
thanks for watching as well.
thank you for
Appreciate that.
watching. And Carlin will be on Friday. Tomorrow, I'm having a break, man. I've been doing this
No,
three,
I
four
told you,
days straight.
working. Everyone be
Yeah,
here for Carlin's on Friday as well, please. I'm
yeah,
going to be in the comments.
be a big one. All right, love people, and I will see you on Friday.